morning, June 9th. Thanks for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. We have a jam-packed 2-hour show to get through. Not a jammed 2 hours.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends.
Same difference. So here's what's brewing for you this Monday morning.
Coming up, the fight for health equity takes center stage this week. We're previewing Baden Street Settlement's upcoming annual meeting. It's all focused on breaking barriers and providing access to everyone. We're going to talk more about the upcoming event and how to get involved. And
then later, we are hitting the green and teeing up to support the community at Gilda's Club. We're going to be looking ahead to the Golf Classic fundraiser and all of the fun and the activities they have planned for players this year.
Yeah, and then we'll be getting a taste of New Orleans right here in studio. Representatives from the Memorial Art Gallery will join us to share more on their upcoming Homage Culinary Series event. It's a taste of NOLA in NODA.
I believe it's Nolans.
See, I just feel like I can't really sell it if I say it like that.
No?
No.
How do you say that flaky pastry that people eat that's half moon-shaped?
A croissant.
A croissant?
Listen.
It's fair.
I feel like a
pretentious.
Well, yeah, that and like a fraud.
Oh,
I'm not convincing anybody.
You're fine. Before all of that, let's get a check of some of your top local headlines this morning. Stephanie Joseph at the live desk with our Monday morning news break.
Well, good morning there, guys. The search continues today for 5-year-old Zyjay St. Pierre after more than a week. Now, the Andrew Street Bridge where Zyjay fell into the Genesee River last weekend is still lined with red balloons that you're seeing here. Police say he climbed onto the railing while his mother was pushing a stroller behind him. She couldn't reach him in time. The Rochester community has shown an outpouring of support with vigils and memorials for Zyjay. Crews shifting their focus to areas north of Lower Falls over the weekend. Pastors from Rochester and Buffalo gathered yesterday to pray for the boy and his family. Zyjay's family is now asking for change, calling for stronger safety measures at bridges across the city. Search teams say coordination has been key as multiple agencies work to manage the Genesee River's flow in hopes of recovery. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been working alongside the city, RG&E, and the State Canal Corporation to improve conditions on the water. The search for Zyjay is now in its second week, and as hope endures, the community continues to show up in support. Rochester police are investigating what they're calling a suspicious death on the city's north side. Just before 2 yesterday, officers found a man in his 60s dead inside a multifamily home on CoStar Street. Investigators have not released his name or how he died, but say the circumstances are considered suspicious. Anyone with information should call 911 or Crime Stoppers. That number on your screen, 423-9300. A late-night fire breaking out at a short-term rental in Chilai. Emergency crews racing to this scene here on Names Road just after 1 this morning. Firefighters say the property was being used as an Airbnb, but thankfully no guests were inside at the time. No injuries were reported either. The cause of the fire is now under investigation. National Guard troops are now on the ground in Los Angeles as protests over recent immigration raids stretch into a 4th day. President Trump deployed 2,000 guardsmen against the wishes of California Governor Gavin Newsom. The demonstrations centered on a cluster of buildings where immigrants arrested on Friday were taken. LA's mayor is calling for peaceful protests, saying the National Guard's presence has only fueled, quote, fear and chaos. The police chief claims some of the protesters are outside agitators causing trouble. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thank you. We're going to get a check of the forecast now. Clouds are here. Showers are going to be out there, too, as we make our way through the day today.
Yeah, meteorologist Marty Snyder in the Weather Center this morning with a look at how long this rain is going to stick around and the impact it could have. Hey there, Marty.
Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, we're going to see that rain build in, especially as we go into the afternoon. Even for the short term, the chances there for a little mist in the air. Notice how we're really not seeing a whole lot on radar at this point, but it's one of those cases where that lower cloud cover that's in place, we could see a little bit of a mist out there. But as we widen the view, you can see more rain off to our west, especially as you look down into the northern half of Ohio. Some more of that rain is going to form, build into our area as we head deeper into the day today. So there is a chance that we could see at least a little bit of localized flooding. Likely nothing widespread, but any thunderstorm that forms could put down a lot of rain in a short-term time frame. And that flood watch is in effect, especially for Rochester east and south, mainly through the afternoon and into the early portion of the overnight. But for today, a fairly dry start, and I say that even with that chance of a little bit of a mist in the air. Temperatures rising to about 75 at noon. Likely a couple breaks try to work in the clouds at times. But then through the afternoon, at least some showers and thunderstorms build in. Some of those could put down a good amount of rain in a short-term time frame. And we'll slide back down to about 70 by 4 p.m. after being in the mid-70s for highs today. And then longer term, I think we do see more sunshine return. Even as soon as tomorrow, we get back into at least a few more breaks as we head through the day. Wednesday looking all right as well. So at least after today, when we see that rain move through, I think we will dry out a little bit for the much longer term, guys.
We like the dry out.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, everything needs a good water.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want a little more consistency.
Okay.
Would be nice.
We'll get there.
Yeah, eventually.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
All right, let's go off the top and start with some things that have piqued our interest this morning. I will start things off. It's something I've kind of been keeping my eye on for a while. It's a trend that's been happening for a while, too. If you've stepped foot inside a Sephora or Ulta or any other beauty store lately, you may have noticed more middle schoolers than millennials. And doctors are saying there's actually a really big problem with that. There's a TikTok skincare craze that's happening right now. And a new study published in the journal Pediatrics is breaking down exactly why medical professionals and parents are worried. So here's what the craze looks like. Young teens on social media sites applying skincare products, face washes, serums, and lotions. Now, it might seem like a little excessive for kids that are only 13 years old, but we're not really talking about 1 or 2, but rather 6 or more products on their skin. Sometimes, in some cases, even a dozen products. It's not your basic stuff that we're talking about either. These routines averaged about $168 worth of product, some even cashing out at a whopping $500 for lotions, potions, skincare cream. This includes retinoids, exfoliating acids, peptides, anti-aging serums, all slathered on the faces of kids who haven't even started experiencing skin problems. Some of them haven't even hit puberty yet. Some of the kids in the trend are as young as 8 years old. Doctors in the study say that these products are not designed for young skin, and using them at such a young age is going to cause some significant harm. Kids and teenagers have really fragile skin, very delicate, because of their skin barrier. That's the outer layer of skin that keeps the face moist and healthy. We all have one. And during our early years, it's really important to keep that safe. All of these harsh ingredients can break that barrier down. It can lead to dryness, flaking, breakouts, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, all of that is cosmetic, right? But we're also talking about chemical burns. Pretty significant. One of the biggest factors that the study says plays into all of this is the marketing behind it all. Beauty brands are targeting young women and young girls with pastel packaging, glittery campaigns, and sponsored social media content. Most of the time, these young tweens don't even know the science that goes into all of these products. They're simply buying the products because social media is telling them to, or they're asking their parents to go and buy it for them. Dermatologists are weighing in. They're saying kids and tweens and teens really only need 3 things. They need a good gentle cleanser, a simple moisturizer, and sunscreen. And in this study, they found that a lot of these kids that are using 6 to 12 products are not including sunscreen in that list, which is something that we all should be wearing every day. They also said that 9-year-olds shouldn't be worried about any anti-aging serums or toners to get rid of wrinkles, which sounds funny. It sounds like, yeah, obviously. But guess what? They're still buying them. Your doctor says if your kid is heading down this path, have a conversation about it and also discuss body image issues. Help them boost their confidence and realize that people on social media aren't doctors. They don't always know best. If your child thinks that they need a skincare routine that is 6, 7, 8 plus steps, maybe a conversation with them or even going to the doctor to talk about it is a helpful move.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's absolutely ridiculous for any parent to allow their child to do this. Yes, allow, because they are a child and you are the parent who makes decisions for them. You know, they only get autonomy on what they eat for lunch when you're not at school with them, okay? They don't get autonomy on what you're buying for them at Sephora. That's ridiculous. Wrinkle creams for a 9-year-old. Those aren't wrinkles. That's flesh.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
But again, it's, you know, the kids on social media, they don't know that. They're just like, oh, this person I follow is telling me that I need this. And look, it's pretty. I like the packaging.
You know where it goes back to? It goes back to one particular Los Angeles County family.
I know who you're going to talk about.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say their names because if you say it 3 times, I think they're your peer.
They're also big fans of the show.
They are big fans of the show, but I'm not a big fan of theirs because this is, honest to God, this is a result of that. Yeah. The fact that we have to have a makeup line for everything, and we're constantly looking for perfection. We're not okay with just existing and being ourselves and loving who we are and the way we look.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, my blood pressure alarm's going off.
Okay. Take a deep breath. It's all right.
All right. Let's move on to my topic. And this morning, I want to talk about finances.
Oh, great.
A TikTok clip of a young Aussie woman named Ren is making its rounds, and it's resonating with a lot of young people around the world. Have a look.
Be genuinely banned. Because one week, oh, I am so rich. I am so rich. The next week, living off genuine scraps. Be genuinely banned. Because one week, oh, I am so rich. I am so rich. The next week, living off genuine scraps.
So she's saying the term fortnightly pay. It's just bi-weekly pay.
Okay.
It's what they say, you know, down under. And, well, it's getting a laugh because we've all actually been there at one point or another. But the truth is that feeling stems from a real problem. That problem is a lack of financial basics. And people, frankly, are fed up. That's why there's a growing call for mandatory financial education in high school. In fact, a 2024 poll by the National Endowment for Financial Education found a whopping 88% of U.S. adults believe high schools should require personal finance courses to graduate. And it's not just parents that are rallying. Around 80% of teens say they wish they'd been taught these skills while in school. Here's the thing. Personal finances isn't just about balancing your checkbook. It's also about things like budgeting, understanding credit, compound interest, taxes, and yes, managing the almighty student loan. Right now, millions of grads are stumbling into 6-figure debt with zero background on handling it. The U.S. has more than 40 million people carrying student loans, totaling a staggering $1.7 trillion, with a T, trillion dollars. Another poll by FICO, that's the credit scoring company, shows 60% of Americans say personal finance class in high school would be more than useful than learning Newton's laws. Outside the U.S., the picture is roughly the same. It goes to show financial literacy isn't a character flaw, it's a systemic gap. Imagine launching into adult life, knowing how to do fractions, and not knowing how to file taxes or avoid payday loans. It's backwards, no? Yeah, it is. Some states, though, are stepping up, hoping to fix this issue. 26 now require personal finance before graduation, and 35 states require either finance or economics. That coverage reaches about 40% of high school students. Yet most are still left in the dark. So before we laugh at Ren's TikTok and comment, budget girl, let's start thinking. What if she didn't need to ask where her money went? What if she already knew? Because financial intelligence isn't a luxury, it's a must.
Wow. That's a really good point. It is.
Right?
We had a financial literacy class in my school, and, you know, it was helpful. It definitely was, but it was very, very basic, and I think that things have evolved so much over time since I was in high school until now, whereas I'm an adult and I have a mortgage and a car payment, and, you know, it was very basic at the time, but things have changed significantly since then. So, you know, as an adult, I'm thinking, like, I would love to take another financial literacy class, you know? We have a financial planner, and every time we meet with him, he's like, hey, what's up? Could you stop buying houses, please? You bought 2 in 2 years.
Yeah.
Bad idea, pal.
Slow down.
Not good.
Slow down.
Wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, listen, I think it's so important, especially in the age where you have some companies, I don't remember, we did the story, I don't even remember who it was, but you can do like payday loans to order food and have it delivered to your house. No.
Klarna.
Yeah. No. If you need help buying a fast food meal and having it delivered to your home, you shouldn't be buying a fast food meal. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You shouldn't. We've got it backwards here, people, backwards. Let's worry about financial education and less worry about skin care, okay?
Okay.
Let's teach these 9-year-olds how to save.
All right. It's 8:15. We still have a lot to get to this morning on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we're going to check in with Chris Lopez. He is shooting for the stars, as well as some three-pointers this morning.
And don't forget, you can take us on the go. Watch our rants live on television. We are streaming right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this. Yeah, we're going beyond the buzzer this morning. The NBA Finals are happening right now, and you might be wondering how those players just get so good.
Yeah, Chris Lopez found a local basketball facility that specializes in skill development so that he could find out how it all happens firsthand. And he's live there this morning. I don't know if you caught the 7:30 hit with Chris, but they really put him to work.
Did they?
He was practically wheezing.
Well, I mean, he looks
there.
very sweaty.
Yeah, guys, so I've been put through the ringer this morning here at HoopsStrength. We did dribbling in the first hit, mid-range shooting in the second hit. I was put through some strength and conditioning in the last hit. That's the hit Abby was referencing. My legs are gone. My lungs have felt like they've exploded, but we still got a show to put on. So I'm here with Coach Rachel this morning. We are going to be put through a little bit of a distance drill, if you will.
Yes,
right?
yeah. So, everyone now has a huge range. So now we're going to put you through, we're going to take it down a notch and just work on your technique of how we build your range and progression.
Okay, and then we have demonstration from Mallory right now.
So this is one of the drills that Mallory does. So Mallory would go through it, and you can see she steps with her inside foot. And then once she makes, usually for her, I want her making about 20 of these before I move her out. But after this next one, when she comes through, she's gonna stay put, and then you see everything coming up at once. So every time she makes one, she takes a step back. And so I would tell her there to maybe soften her hands just a little bit, right, because of how that came out. And she keeps stepping back. So this trains the lower body to move at the same time as the upper body.
This is also what I call buttery biscuits. Wow. This is like, I'm sorry to jinx you.
She does make us look really good. I take her everywhere with me as my demonstrator.
Jeez, man. Same consistent, and she has the same consistency in her shot.
Yes.
Release, rise on her jump shot. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, and notice the pace of her hand. So when we miss, sometimes people go, oh, I'm gonna slow it down and try to control it. The ball won't come down.
Okay.
So she keeps the same pace. So we do hours of this drill together, like weekly, just to build that pace. And it's usually after the workout you just did.
Oh, man. Okay, it shows. All right. So I'm going to go side to side. I'll try and make 2, then I'll start to expand my range.
Yep, and then I'll coach you through it.
Coach, all right.
All right, Male can be your rebounder too, so here we go. You got this, you're good. Yep, so come up all in one motion. Yep, catch and come up. Get ready. That's 2, let's go, good job. Yep, see, it's right, you want more. There's 3. Yep, keep the pace of that hand, good job. All right, now we're gonna stay this side, yep. Nothing changes except for we pick up the pace of that hand. Push through the ground, beautiful. That's a good miss, we'll take that miss. Good job, yep, step. It's coming, I feel it. Now you slowed that hand down. Try to lift that hand a little bit higher and pick up the pace.
Okay.
That's close, good.
Guys, I'm feeling it right now.
We got it. Nice job, there it is.
All right, let's go.
One more, a deep one, yep.
Here we go.
Good, it's in. Oh, good job.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
I'm heading over to Coach Steve over here. Defense. We have neglected defense all morning long, and we are about to seize that right now. Very important, underrated aspect of the game.
For sure.
What's this drill here?
So this drill here is we're going to work on our defensive slide and then also with a closeout, because man-to-man defense is always team defense. That's what I say. Team defense is everything. So we're going to go close out on our guy, on our defend, who we defending, and then we're going to sprint out to help somebody else that's on the shot.
And by closeout, I'm going to start here, run over to Courtney over there. I'm closing out on her shot.
So actually what we're going to do, we're going to start with a defensive slide.
Oh, okay.
We're going to slide out to work on our defensive slide. A closeout, normally we would go sprint, but we're going to work on our slide, and then we're going to sprint out to the shot.
Okay.
And then you're going to get your chance to shoot.
All right, Coach. All right, here we go.
So turn the other way. There we go. Slide. Touch the ball. Sprint. Good defense. Good defense. Rotate. So you stay there for the shot. Courtney, get there.
Buttery biscuit!
Hey! So now you got to pass. You got to pass. Make the good pass, Chris. There you go. Hey!
Coach, one thing I do want to hit on, parents that are watching this, you guys have summer programs going on right now, right?
Absolutely. So every month during the summer, we have summer programs, we have summer camps, and a bunch of things for all the kids that's out of school, and just so they can get work and get good fitness and training in.
HoopsStrength.com?
HoopsStrength.com for sure, and the app.
Okay,
app.
and the app.
Yes.
Coming up next, we're going to be talking to these players over here, finding out what kind of drills they like, what kind of stuff they like to do when they're not crushing it here on the basketball court. Stay tuned here on Arc Rochester. I'm still tired.
He's beat out there.
You're doing great, though, Chris.
You are,
Like,
Chris.
for the most part, we're
I'm
impressed.
actually going to say, yeah, I'm impressed with your basketball skills.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right,
You're
well,
welcome.
this is one compliment for the week.
I know, yeah,
After
for the
this.
month.
Yeah.
Hey, stick around. When we come back, it's this morning's weather trivia.
Yeah, Mark will be here after this. Zach Mark is here with a look at today's, it says colder temperatures in the teleprompter. I wouldn't call it cold, though. I would just call it cooler temperatures, I guess. Rain and weather trivia, too.
Yeah, lots of that. So the topic today, there's a flood watch for areas south and east of Rochester. So when you look at the records for rainfall in Rochester, what is today's record amount of rainfall for Western New York? So that's going to be the weather trivia
That's
running.
weather trivia?
Yeah, well, I just figured, with the theme of rain,
Absolutely, but for anybody who watched the 5 o'clock hour this morning, they know the answer now.
Really? Mm-hmm. So I didn't watch the 5 o'clock hour. What did I miss?
Oh, see? We got an admission there. That was a test, buddy.
Oh, I was sleeping. Does that count?
No, not when we're awake in here.
Okay. 1.02 inches, 0.89, and I don't want phone calls at 12:30 in the morning just to make sure I'm up. 0.89 inches, 1.49 inches, and 2.45 inches.
Did you get one of those this weekend, too?
We all
You did, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
We all did.
Wow. Really?
No, I was left off the team.
Wow. Oh, man. Somebody made some phone calls this weekend.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Yep.
None of us answered.
Okay.
We were all
none of us
asleep.
Yeah, woke
Doesn't
me out of a
matter.
dead sleep. All right,
So-
let's get back to this. We have a flood watch in effect for parts of Western New York today. Do you know what today's rainfall record is for Rochester? Okay.
What do you say? Is it as bad as the trampoline floating in water for the picture, or is that overkill?
I actually think I know what this is.
Okay.
I do.
It's that time of the year where you start to notice the atmospheric moisture content again. Dew points get back in the 60s, sweaty, that kind of, you can just feel the difference in the air. So the air can hold a lot more moisture this time of the year just based on the temperature and, some of the other circumstance. But we'll have the answer at 9 o'clock coming up.
Sounds good.
This is what we're talking about today. A flood watch. This starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, goes through 2 a.m. overnight. There's actually going to be 2 periods of rain likely, one mid to late afternoon and another one overnight tonight. And it looks like a lot of the focus for this is going to be east and southeast of Rochester. Rain amounts between 1 inch or 2 possible, but there's also the possibility of training. And I'm going to show you what that is here in just a minute. Just want to show you some of the rain amounts since midnight. 3 100ths in Rochester. So none of these rain amounts on your screen would be a cause for concern. 12 hundredths in York there, 5 hundredths of an inch in Clifton Springs. Notice the potential precip amounts, and again, focus south and east of Rochester. So there's a 1/2 inch to 1 inch by this evening, and then overnight tonight, there's a chance for maybe an additional amount in that similar range. So if we get 1.5 inches or 2 inches of rain, most of these spots should be able to handle that kind of rainfall without any issues. But if you get a storm that just trains and sits over the same spot, that's where you can get rain amounts that are a little bit more inflated. But as for your morning drive, there were some sprinkles out there, a little bit of drizzle, nothing that's going to slow you down too much. Back to our southwest, this is that area that we're going to be watching. And because of the motion of that rain along the weather system that's coming in, you get this motion from the southwest to the northeast. And you see on the focus for the map ahead that it again places that rain over the same places and some of those thunderstorms over the same places. So we'll have to watch even for the potential of an isolated strong thunderstorm this afternoon and this evening and overnight, especially to the southeast. And when that rain falls over the same area, that's where you can get some issues. This is what a training thunderstorm looks like. Imagine a train on tracks, and it goes over the same spot. And it would be a similar thing in weather if you get these slow-moving soakers that do go over the same area. Some of the spots in the southern tier have had a bit of rain over the last week, and we just don't want to see a ton of it. 65 degrees, it is a mild start for you. That dew point is in the 60s. You notice that when you walk out the door. And we'll see the temperature actually make it into the mid-70s before dropping back to near 70 at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The 7-day forecast dries out for us Tuesday, Wednesday. See those numbers back to near 80 and then a little cooler late this week. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a spot shower on Thursday as well there, even though you see a 25% chance passing shower into the weekend, but no heavy rain.
What time today, on that planning forecast, I missed it.
was
what time today is that rain really going to pick up?
It looks like mid-afternoon, maybe late afternoon.
Okay.
And then again, overnight tonight, there's another chance that we get maybe a similar period of rain and thunder. There is an isolated chance that we could see a strong thunderstorm too. So we'll be here this afternoon, and meteorologist Scott Hetzko is going to be here too. So we'll have it covered back there.
Why, you have big plans?
Yeah, I mean, not big plans, but I need to be outdoors for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I know.
All right, look at you.
I lead an adventurous life, Abigail.
I know this.
I know.
Got to get your vitamin D.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
No
true.
vitamin D out there today, though.
Not right now.
No.
Nope.
All right. Thank
Yep.
you, McLean.
Yep.
Time right now is 8:32. Much more to get to this morning on Arc Rochester.
Stick around. We're back on the other side of the break. For this Monday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on Arc Rochester. We want to turn our attention now to an important conversation about a crisis that's unfolding right here in our community.
Yeah, this week, Baden Street Settlement is hosting its annual meeting focused on addressing health inequities impacting some of Rochester's most underserved neighborhoods.
The event, Breaking Barriers, Equity, Access, and Action, aims to spark real change. And this morning, we're learning more about that event and how you can be involved. Joining us now, we have event co-chairs Tyrese Bryant and Taylor Jackson. Thank you both so much for waking up bright and early. We appreciate it. Absolutely. So first and foremost, before we dive into the event, I want to talk about the access to appropriate health care in our community and how things are off kilter and certainly not in balance. Who wants to take the lead on that?
I can certainly start that conversation. So this event and primarily this access we've highlighted, this is around zip codes. 14605 is where Baden Street is based. We also service 14609 and 14621. We want to highlight how zip codes right here in Monroe County create health disparities with so many people. If you live in a certain zip code, your likelihood to live longer is different. Your likelihood to live in poverty and live in child poverty is different. Your access to food and transportation is different. Right here in Monroe County. So we wanted to highlight those disparities with this event, but specifically see how can we get actionable results to those disparities we face in our community.
It sounds like a really large undertaking, one that, I'm sure that people are pretty unaware of when it comes to finding a solution here. So give us an insight into what it is that you're going to be doing here.
Yeah, so the event will have a keynote address from Harvard professor Dr. David R. Williams, and his research really connects the issue of how racism, place, and stress affect health outcomes in our community. He does this at a very global, national, and state level. And it'll be a facilitated discussion between Dr. Lakia Wilson from the Rochester Regional Health that will kind of help bring national research to a local level.
I imagine it's important to involve as many zip codes as you possibly can, because in particular for the people in zip codes who have adequate access, who are likely more unaware that others don't have that same access to health care. So how do you draw as many people into this conversation and make sure that everybody has a seat at the table so they can at least listen to what is being said?
We start with partnerships. We've been lucky to have great partnerships. Beta Street's celebrating 124 years. So partnerships is everything that this is about, and bringing our community together. So we've worked really hard to get that message out to our partners throughout Monroe County, through our sponsorship, and also through our healthcare partners. I mean, we serve people from cradle to grave, basically, from seniors to young people. And so over time, we've had partners in government, partners in the for and nonprofit sector, and all those people will be at this table to have this conversation with us and to really delve into how do we come up with solution-based items.
The theme for this event, breaking barriers, equity, access, action. What does that mean to the two of you?
I think it's a recommitment in Rochester to focus on the issues that are pressing in our most underserved neighborhoods and really having a conversation around how we can have sustainable action to addressing these issues in our communities.
And for me, breaking barriers really means what we aim to do at Baden Street. Our goal is to make people who live in poverty self-sufficient. So to do that, we've got to break some sense of barrier. If you don't have transportation, if you don't have enough money to feed your kids, if you don't have childcare, if you're a senior and you're trying to get out of the house, that itself is breaking a barrier that holds you back. And that's what we aim to do at that event. And that's what it means to me. And that's what Baden Street is. We break barriers every single day. And we've done it for 124 years.
I'm glad you just rattled off that list, because one thing we've talked about very recently here in the newsroom is the closure of Rite Aid pharmacies. Abby did a little story on it last week, and how it's created pharmacy deserts for a lot of our city neighborhoods. We talk about food deserts for a lot of our city neighborhoods, because at most, some of these neighborhoods have a corner grocery store, which calling it a grocery store is kind of a big term for what it actually offers. So I imagine you're addressing more than just health care during this event.
Correct. We aim to highlight those issues, but we also aim to really talk specifically about what are the challenges that primarily these zip codes, and then part of it is 14605 and beyond. So as you mentioned earlier in the interview, how are other zip codes impacted, specifically in the city of Rochester? And Dr. Williams will talk a lot about not only, as Taylor mentioned, the global and the national level of how these issues are impactful, but also here, bringing it real right here where the rubber meets the road in Rochester. So we're going to address as many issues as we can in this hour discussion with Dr. Williams, and hope that we can leave, as I've said, with some actions and really get excited about what we all can do, because the only people who can change this public policy is all of us.
So true. Happening this Thursday, June 12th, the Strong Museum of Play. For somebody sitting at home, can they stop by? Can they take part in this conversation?
Yes, they can. They can go to betastreet.org to purchase tickets. And obviously, we'll be selling tickets right at the door. The event starts Thursday at 5:30 p.m. We're super excited, and we're thankful for the support of the Strong National Museum of Play. No other better place to have it in the city of Rochester.
Thank you both so much for waking up bright and early and coming in. We appreciate it. We'll post all this information and much more on our website, foxrochester.com, after the show this morning.
Time right now is 8:40. Much more to get to this morning on Arc Rochester. When we come back, we'll check in with Chris Lopez once again, who's having a slam dunk kind of day.
Hey, and don't forget, you can take us on the go wherever you're headed today. Did you know Arc Rochester is streaming? Yeah, live right now on the 13WAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. We're back after this.
Welcome back. The NBA Finals are happening right now, and the display of skill is remarkable.
Yeah, inspired by this, Chris Lopez wanted to level up his own skill set, so he found a facility that would open their doors, let him inside, and he has been on the court all morning long. And Chris, I'll be honest, your moves are kind of impressive out there, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I played some time growing up playing basketball, and it's finally showing in this morning's feature. We have done some drills this morning. We've done some dribbling. We've done some strength and conditioning. We've done some shooting, mid-range, three-point, defensive drills, closeout drills, you name it. We got to talk to the players that go here, that use this facility to really up their game. One of them is Mallory. Thank you. You've been essentially, we haven't even talked to you throughout the morning, but you have been essentially the shooter in the last drill. Buttery biscuits, like I said, absolutely beautiful shot.
Thank you.
How long have you been playing?
Quite a while. Probably, I think I started around 2nd grade, maybe 1st grade.
What drew you to basketball out of all the different sports, or did you play all of the sports?
Originally, I loved soccer, and then my love grew for basketball and how you never stop learning it. So then I started focusing on basketball.
And where do you play now?
I just finished my season up at Hilton, and now I'm headed to St. Bonaventure.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you're gonna have the Woj bomb as your GM. Okay, I love that. Now you've been going here for how long, would you say?
I've always done like their camps. My AU team is to practice here. In the past 2 years, I've been here quite a bit, like 3 or 4 times a week.
How much has your skills, really upped since you started going here?
It's changed so much. They incorporate all aspects of the game, not only shooting, dribbling, but the fitness, the mindset, the nutrition. Like they teach you all that kind of stuff here.
What position do you play?
Guard, point guard, just handle the ball. Yeah.
All over. I like it. Positionless basketball. Now, you have a favorite move, or is it a drill?
It's sort of a drill. It's more like a progression.
Okay.
That like at any time you can shoot it.
Okay.
So that's kind of fun. Yeah. It's like
I'll step out of your way.
Use like the rocker step. It's like you kind of rock forward, you come back for a little bit, and then you go. And you can kind of either attack off of that, or you can go and then you can pull it back, and then kind of putting it together with like maybe attacking too. You go like rocker, come back like you're gonna shoot it, and then you put it back between and you go. Just kind of get your defender moving and not expecting it.
Yeah, almost like a magician, always keeping them guessing. They don't know what the next trick is.
Right.
Why do you like it?
Because it helps creativity, and like in the game, you're not always gonna have a scripted thing what to do. So just kind of move off the flow. If something doesn't work out, just turn it into something else. So
okay,
yeah.
let me try. Can I try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you got this.
Switch you. And you said it's a rocker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just messed up the drill. I'm so sorry.
No, it's the point of it.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
that was good.
Thank you so much for being with us throughout the morning. I have to go over to another player, headed over to Courtney. Courtney, good morning. We haven't gotten a chance to talk to you. Where do you play ball at?
Fairport High School, but next year I'll be playing at Keuka College.
And how long have you been playing some basketball?
Since like 3rd grade.
3rd grade. What drew you to the sport?
I think just I got put into like a club team or whatever, and I've just been playing it, and because I was with all my friends, and I think just playing with them, it was just so much better, and like it just kept going.
And what's the atmosphere like here at HoopsStrength? They seem like they put you through the ringer, because they put me through the ringer.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, but in the end, like during I'm like it's a lot.
Yeah.
But then I really am glad that I'm working hard and stuff like that. So.
And what's your favorite drill, or what's your favorite move here?
So it's gonna be like a crossover behind the back and then spin move.
Okay.
So move out of the way.
Yeah. Oh. Boom. Spin move into the paint. I like it. I'm gonna try and make it. And okay, so let's give you this. And you said what?
Crossover.
And then
you're gonna go to the elbow.
Okay.
And behind the back. And spin move.
So crossover behind the back.
Yeah.
Spin move. Hey, wow. Okay, that was bad. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm sorry I butchered your drill.
It's okay.
Last player of the morning, we're gonna go over to Mr. Casey. Casey, where are you playing ball at right now?
Ball at Clarkson University.
Okay, and when did you start playing basketball?
I started probably when I was like 5 years old.
Everyone here started when they were incredibly young. How important do you think that is for players to start young?
Just get the development early, get the basics down, and just
Get better, yeah, get better. The more you're doing something, the better you're going to get, especially when you're young. Now, do you have a favorite skill or a drill here or a move?
I do this called star drill with Coach Steve all the time. So this is where you have to make a shot from the corner, then run all the way to the wing, and then run to the other wing. It adds a lot of conditioning.
More running, Casey?
Yeah, a lot of conditioning with this one.
All right, let's see it. I'm going to let you do it, then I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio, either on Casey's makes or on my makes. Good. Guys, and throughout the morning, the conditioning that I've been going through has been absolutely phenomenal. To be able to shoot, to be able to defend, to be able to dribble while you're tired is pretty much the goal here in basketball. You could do whatever you would like to when you're playing by yourself on the court, but the fact is if you can't do it when you're tired, you're probably not going to be able to make too many shots or be a good defender or be a good dribbler. Okay. Guys, I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. I'm going to let Casey finish out this drill. Casey, end on some buttery biscuits for us. I'm trying. Boom. There we go. Check out HoopsStrength.com.
Chris, after all these barbecue features, the donut day features, the drink features, I feel like this is your doctor's going to be proud that you're finally putting in some work.
My doctor's always proud, all right? My doctor's always proud, no matter how much barbecue I'm eating, no matter how much cake I'm eating, it doesn't matter because I'm always working it off.
Because you probably bring in samples and pay them off. Thank you, Lopez. We appreciate it.
When we come back, it's this morning's Health in a Handbasket.
Stick around. We're back after this. $8:52. Today is National Meal Prep Day, and for this morning's Health in a Handbasket, we're going to be breaking down some simple strategies to make your life just a bit easier.
Yeah, for more on how to plan and prepare, we're joined by our friend, registered dietitian, nutritionist, Alyssa Strassman. We were just talking during the break. There is truly a national day for everything and anything, and this is no exception.
Yeah, it actually, I was doing a little research. It started in 2021, so fairly new, but the purpose was to encourage people to prepare meals more at home by planning ahead. This way, people could be more intentional about some of the choices that they make in their life.
So it's really about packing a lunch, being prepared.
Packing a lunch, breakfast, snacks, you know, I think of it as just having something that makes your life easier. So when we think about meal prep, you know, it could be any opportunity where we're eating that makes life a little bit easier to get some nutrition in, you know? And so whenever, you know, I'm talking about this with people, I know there is like this, like when we think about meal planning, I don't know, what do you think about? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about meal prep?
I don't know. What do you think about when it comes to meal prep? I need food.
Yeah, so when I think about meal prep, what I see online often is like the very unanimous, like very outlined, like pre-portioned meals that come. And yes, that can be what meal prep can look like, but it can also just be preparing food so that it's ready for you to use when you need it. So yep, it can be preparing all meals, but it can also be components of meals or having things ready so that if you don't have a plan, you have something that's easy to grab.
So you made something here.
Yeah, so those are just things that I had in my freezer. You know, I had made a batch of like oatmeal muffin things and I put them in my freezer. And so this is just one way of when we are in a rush, we're on the way out the door, it can make for a great breakfast, it can make for a great snack, but it makes life easier by having it all ready to go. But one of the things that, you know, when we think about meal prep, it's always important to have a plan. So thinking about our schedule for the week and then thinking about what meals and snacks might be helpful to have ready or prepared in advance. Because, you know, sometimes for some of us, it's breakfast and getting out the door is difficult. So what do I have that I can easily grab if that's something that I don't allow myself time to have?
So are there particular items that are easy to prepare that we can always have on hand to make grab and go life easier?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, when we think about making life easier, it could just be fresh produce. So one easy thing is rinsing that produce and having it already rinsed in your fridge and ready to go, or having it cut up so that you can use it for different things. One of the things that I loved, I was visiting my cousin and she had a fruit tray that she would cut up in the morning and then she would put it out for meals and snacks throughout the day so that people had fresh fruit when they wanted to at meals and snacks, but it was just something that she prepared it once throughout the day, once in the morning, and had it out ready to go. But we could also use that cut fresh fruit for fruit and yogurt parfaits, for smoothies, for toppings for pancakes and waffles and in all different things, right? Also having produce available and thinking about how we can repurpose some of those produce. So like if we're preparing peppers, if we're making a recipe that has peppers in it later in the week, that's where kind of having a plan may help support us. If we're making fajitas, we have sliced peppers and onions and things like that. Can we reuse it in a stir fry later on or on sandwiches or something else, you know, later on in the week?
Stir fry sounds good right now.
That does sound good. Alyssa, we're running low on time here, but you also have some nuts and some other stuff here.
Yeah, so just, you know, when we have big bags of things, taking them out and actually portioning them out and having them ready to go and grab. These are things that are great activities for kids to do while you're all in the kitchen together. It literally takes 2 seconds, but it's something where we can get our kids involved. They can pre-packaged things, and then when it's time to go somewhere after school activities or out the door to school, they have something they can look in the little, you know, snack drawer, snack bin, whatever, grab something and go. The other tip that I have is just make sure that you have containers to put things in and think about space, right? Like if we're preparing larger meals or components of meals, where are we going to put that? So just, I know we get very like, woohoo, like I'm all on board for this, but do we have the space to accommodate that? And just remember to label and date things as well. One of the things that I am totally guilty of is forgetting what I have in my freezer. So
that's fair.
I will put it in there and then I'll be looking for my containers and I'm like, why don't I have any more containers?
Yeah, and what was that?
Yes.
What's now growing
make
in
sure
there?
you use it and be mindful of like quality and use by dates as well.
Hit them with the socials.
Alyssa Strassman, RDNCDN on Facebook, or people can visit me, alyssastrassman.com.
Good
Perfect.
stuff. Thank you. Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this.
More to get to this morning on ARC Rochester. As we continue into the 9 o'clock hour, Stephanie Joseph will break down some of our top political stories.
She joins us now with a preview of what we can expect at 9. Hey there, Steph.
Hey there, guys. In today's Political Pulse, we take a closer look at the unrest in Los Angeles as protesters clash with authorities, the response from local lawmakers after President Trump deployed the National Guard, and the legal grounds he's using for their deployment. Plus, what to know as a travel ban on 12 countries takes effect today, and where U.S. and Chinese officials will meet as trade talks resume. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns right after this.
Exchange of ideas on China-U.S. relations and important issues of shared interest.
On this Monday morning, June 9th. Thanks for being here as we continue on with ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. That is meteorologist Mark McLean with us once again. He'll have an updated check on the forecast for you in just a bit. First, though, we do want to check in with Stephanie Joseph with your Monday morning ARC Rochester news break.
Here are some of the top local stories that we're following this Monday. The search continues today for 5-year-old Zyjay St. Pierre after more than a week later. The Andrew Street Bridge, where Zyjay fell into the Genesee River last weekend, is still lined with red balloons. Police say he climbed onto the railing while his mother was pushing a stroller behind him. She couldn't reach him in time. The Rochester community has shown an outpouring of support with vigils and memorials for Zyjay. Crews shifting their focus to areas north of Lower Falls over the weekend. Pastors from Rochester and Buffalo gathered yesterday to pray for the boy and his family. Zyjay's family is now asking for change, calling for stronger safety measures at bridges across the city. Search teams say coordination has been key as multiple agencies work to manage the Genesee River's flow in hopes of recovery. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been working alongside the city, RG&E, and the State Canal Corporation to improve conditions on the water. The search for Zai is now in its second week, and as hope endures, the community continues to show up in support. Rochester police are investigating what they're calling a suspicious death on the city's north side. Now, just before 2 yesterday, officers found a man in his 60s dead inside a multifamily home on CoStar Street. Investigators have not released the man's name or how he died, but say the circumstances are considered suspicious. Anyone with information should call 911 or Crime Stoppers right there on your screen, 423-9300. A late-night fire breaking out at a short-term rental in Chilai here. Crews racing to this scene on Names Road just after 1 this morning. Firefighters say the property was being used as an Airbnb, but thankfully, though, no guests were inside at the time. No injuries were reported either. The cause of the fire is now under investigation. Happening today, a former corrections officer accused in the beating death of inmate Robert Brooks is due back in court for pre-trial hearings. Anthony Farina is one of 10 former staff members at Marcy Correctional Facility charged in Brooks's December death. Farina, along with 8 others, have rejected a plea deal and is now headed to trial on second-degree murder charges. If convicted, he faces 25 years to life in prison. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thanks. Let's get our attention now to the forecast. Doom and gloom. McLean has brought the rain for us this Monday morning. A very Monday-like forecast.
It is. It's a Monday forecast.
Doom and gloom.
She said it.
It was in the prompter. I do what I'm told these days.
Was it?
Oh,
Yes,
it was in the
I
prompter.
swear to God.
Scroll
wow.
Yeah, can you scroll up,
hate
Mario?
from above.
You'll see it.
It's not hate. There it is.
It's love.
Wow.
Okay.
Doom and gloom McLean.
Woof.
I guess not a beacon of light.
Yeah. Let's talk sunshine though, Mark. When will we see it again?
We're seeing some right now for the short term.
Okay.
So we do have some breaks of sun for the short term, but let's talk about that weather trivia. Some rain on the way today, and looking at amounts that could be over an inch for some spots. Now, the weather trivia question's asking about the rainfall record for the date. We have a flood watch in effect for parts of the area today. Do you know what today's rainfall record is for Rochester? So that would be the daily rainfall record, and the choices.
Believe I do.
1.02, 0.89, 1.49, and 2.45. Did Marty mention it at
No.
the 5 o'clock hour? He said you had like a hint or something in there.
Yeah, we really.
You were just kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pulling your leg.
Today's weather trivia. Mary's thinking B, Julie and Yvonne C, and Barbara's thinking D, and we have some on Insta.
50% C, 50% D. I am going with C.
That is also my guess.
C is the correct answer, and I'm not sure why I didn't highlight, but
man.
yeah, that rainfall record was established back in 1889.
Wow.
How about
How
that?
do you like that?
That's an oldie there, but C is the correct answer, even though the yellow highlight didn't pop on. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, look at this. We got a cat of the day today.
Aww.
It was a nameless. There was no name on our chime-in area, but if you have pictures of your pets, especially muddy dogs, and you'd like to see them on TV, we'd like to show them for you. Just go to 13wham.com/chime-in, scan that QR code, and we'd be more than happy to share your photos.
That's
Love
a
to see.
cute cat, but she's got the same silhouette as one of my cats who needs to lay off the treats. Listen.
Stop.
Are we judging?
Maybe a little. Listen, very cute all the same. Body shaming the
Get him,
kitty
Abby.
cat.
Get him. All right. Some wet paws out there today, and then we'll start to dry. I wouldn't be surprised if we just got a quick little shower Thursday, but it looks pretty decent for the rest of the week. You saw the wave go by on the screen. That's a flood watch south and east of Rochester. This starts at 2 o'clock this afternoon, goes till 2 a.m. tonight, and really we're going to see 2 chances of rain. First, I want to mention that chance this morning is pretty low. All that rain off to the east now. We've got a little period of sunshine, then the clouds and the rain fill in back to the southwest. So we're going to have to keep our eye on this area that's back in Ohio as it drifts into western New York. It's going to give us a pretty good chance of rain. Not only rain, but we may also find some thunderstorms developing in some of this activity too, especially south and east of Rochester. And you see there's that second chance right there, and that's why the flood watch really kind of it goes into the Finger Lakes and points into central New York, concentrates there because that chance for rain is a little bit higher in those areas, and there's some of the drier weather filling in behind that. But again, don't be surprised if you see some rain amounts between the two areas of rain of an inch and a half. You see that through 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Close to Rochester and points west, the rain chance is lower, but not zero. So rain amounts may only be a quarter to a third of an inch. And yeah, the Storm Prediction Center says there is a chance that we could have some briefly strong thunderstorms. And, we're on board with that. Just a slight risk in the southern tier. For most areas, this is a pretty marginal chance for strong thunderstorms. I think most areas are going to avoid that potential. But a little bit of blue. We like to see that on a Monday, right? 68 degrees. The dew point is at 62. The southwest breeze is going to transport in that moisture from the southwest this afternoon, and the temperature is going to go down as some of that rain starts to pull in. We'll probably make it into the mid-70s before dropping back to the low 60s overnight tonight. And the 7-day forecast for us does have temperatures near 80 by Wednesday, and that's pretty typical now for this time of the year. I know you look at the bottom of the screen there, you see the normal is 76 and 56. 80, even though it sounds like a pretty decent number, is not that much higher than normal.
No.
Yeah.
But listen, we're not going to complain about it because I'll take those 80-degree days any day of the week.
Yeah,
Better
it's
than
nice.
8.
Absolutely.
We need some dry weather too, especially if we do get that, inch and a half of rain today for areas east of Rochester. We're going to need some dry time.
Yeah, we will. Can I ask the question about the big plants?
Yeah.
Did they make it out?
They made it out.
They
yeah.
made it out.
And got repotted. So I was shopping on Saturday for a very large pot for the plumeria tree. So got that repotted and got the branch that I broke off of it, put it in another pot, and we'll see. We might have 2 plumeria trees.
I have root powder for it if you want.
Okay.
I can bring it in for you tomorrow.
I already.
Oh, you already did?
Yeah, I've had some success doing this. I've actually had 4 on branches that I've trimmed off of it through the years. 4
well,
new trees.
trim another branch off for me because my root powder did not work. It didn't work. It didn't take. No, it dried up and it died.
Okay.
It was a sad day in the household.
Oh, well, you should know right away. I mean, they don't linger for long.
No.
I mean, if that experiment goes south pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yep.
it did.
Yep.
It did.
I don't even know what root powder is. So, good for you.
Or rooting
Congratulations.
hormone.
Yeah, or that. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
It's okay. We'll get you there.
Yeah, I went, got a bunch of plants this weekend.
Yeah?
They're all looking good so far.
Yeah?
Good.
Let's keep it that way.
You haven't touched them then?
I touched them a lot. I helped put them in the ground.
You did?
No,
Oh.
I didn't.
Are they in the ground
I
yet?
was project manager. They
Oh,
are in
okay.
the ground.
You were. I like that.
Yep.
You know.
That's a good title, though. Foreman.
I do what I can.
Exactly.
I
All
tell
right.
it where it goes.
It-
It goes over there.
Yes. Faster. Dig faster.
Yep. No,
Right?
flip it the other way. Yep, there we go. We want the pretty
Go
side.
the good
out.
side.
Yep.
All right, McLean. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Much more to get this morning here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're learning more about one author's search for commonality across the globe.
Hey, and don't forget, you can take ARC Rochester with you wherever you're going this morning. We are streaming live on the 13WAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. ARC Rochester returns after this. 9:15 this Monday morning, an author and Brighton native is sharing his new book, Around the World in 60 Years, which highlights stories and perspectives from men around the globe, all of the same age.
So this morning we're learning about the project and the lessons it uncovered. Joining us now is author John Wolfe. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back home, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You must be excited to be back in Rochester. As a Brighton native, I'm sure it's nice to come back to your roots to talk about this incredible piece of work, I want to call it artwork because it kind of is, this beautiful work that you have put together. Tell everybody a little bit about it.
Well, it's a book that came about in 2023 when I was 59 years old. My wife and I took a bucket list trip around the world. And as part of the project, I wanted to try to find men my age, born in 1964 in the different countries. And I had a questionnaire for them about their country, life, family, work. And I was able to get about a dozen responses. And then and they were so thoughtful and so interesting. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get more. So I put on a real effort, and I ended up with 101 participants from 65 different countries.
That's really incredible. And I imagine, getting perspectives from 65 different countries, you're going to have vastly different answers in some areas of the questionnaire and likely very similar answers in others. Is that right?
Very much so. If you think about the last 60 years, I have 6 gentlemen who were part of countries that were behind the Iron Curtain. So Poland and Lithuania and Slovakia. And you think about how their life has changed over 60 years. Interesting. A gentleman from South Africa voted for the first time in 1994. Perspective. A gentleman from Vietnam. And so just the variety of places provides different answers. But the common theme of the book is that we have much more in common than in conflict.
That is really eye-opening. Just flipping through this is really amazing to see some of the answers. How did you come up with some of the questions? I just want to read some of them, just if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me see here. What is the best thing about where you live? How has life changed in your country since you were a child? What's been the most important event in your country in your lifetime? Really deep questions. Kind of at first more like direct answers, and then it gets a little more emotional. Tell me about your family, the most important lesson your family taught you, your greatest pride. How did you come up with these questions?
Well, the initial questionnaire was 29 questions, and my wife said, no, that's way too many. And so we whittled it down to 13, and really I wanted to address the country and their history and events in that country. And then I wanted to really hit the emotional side of their family, what suggestions do they have for the next generation, their greatest fear, things like that.
Is there one answer that, or one question that received the same answer time and time again?
Well, it was the best time of your life. When is your favorite time of your life? And a lot of the men said right now. But then you had a lot that said, when I was in high school and I was carefree, or one gentleman from Sweden was from 6 to 10 years old when he spent time with his grandparents. Two of the guys were kind of funny. In the mix of all the people, I had great serendipity. And so some of the people have been married for 30, 40 years. Others have been married and divorced. There's 4 gentlemen who are in same-sex relationships. There's one gentleman who's a widower from Argentina. And so you just had a realm of answers across the spectrum.
What I'm just looking at this, there's one thing that I was hoping that I would see, and I am seeing it. You've got 2 questions in here. What's your greatest pride, and what's the best decision you made? And for so many of these men, those answers have to do with their significant other and their children, choosing to have a family, which I think is really incredible and speaks volumes to who these men actually are.
Yeah, the thing I think it comes across is these are 60-year-old men. They're the only celebrities. There's a rock star from Phoenix who's a heavy metal singer, and then there's a FIFA referee from Turkmenistan. But for the most part, everyone's just a average guy living the life, And you find that family is really quite important to them. One of the gentlemen that you'll see, I have two from Brighton. They're my classmates. One is Ned Hodgman. He lives in D.C. and he went to Harvard and speaks Russian and spent time in Russia.
Wow.
The other one is Ron Cooper, and he's a buddy of mine. He lives in Greece, and he had a great answer to the best decision you've made. He said that at the age of 45, he visited the doctor. And he said, I don't feel so good. Maybe I could try to get a prostate exam. And the doctor's like, no, just don't worry about it. Just wait until you're 50. You'll be fine. And he's like, no, I really think I should. And so he writes in the book, that was the best decision I made, because if I hadn't done that, I might not be with you today.
Wow.
Abby, I want to just piggyback on something you said, I think, during the break. You called it a piece of artwork, and I mean, it's beautifully produced.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really is. Like, talk about a nice coffee table book.
Yep.
That's one right here.
Yep.
That's for somebody sitting at home who wants to get their hands on it, where can they buy one?
I have a talk tonight at Brighton Memorial Library at 5:30. I'll be at Pittsford Barnes & Noble tomorrow from 3 to 6 for a signing. I also sell them on aroundtheworldbooks.org and on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Perfect.
And there's a digital version you can get also. The other thing, I wanted to be here this time because Father's Day is coming up. And at the back of the book, I included a now it's your turn questionnaire that's blank. And the idea is that for your family, someone could fill this out, and now you've got a keepsake and a memory for your own family.
That's a great idea.
I was wondering if you had kind of done it, maybe not even on paper, but just in your head as you're putting all of these together. Did you kind of answer the questions yourself, and while you were reading the others, your answers change a little?
Yeah, my answers are in the book. They're the back of the book. And not really, because I really wanted to go from my heart and my experiences and the relationships and things. And when you read this, when you read through the different ones, what comes across is that these are thoughtful gentlemen who have a perspective. And it could be a guy who lives on an island in Cape Verde off the coast of Africa, and he's interesting. Might be the guy who lives on the island of Bermuda.
Yeah.
And but it's a perspective.
Very
good. It really is. John Wolfe is the author. Around the World in 60 Years is the book. We'll post all the information you need to know on our website, foxrochester.com, after the show. Thank you, John.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Time right now is 9:23. When we come back, Steph will be here breaking down some of our top political headlines.
Your Political Pulse is coming up next.
It's time for a political pulse check here on ARC Rochester. We begin with the tense situation in Los Angeles as protesters clash with law enforcement. Now, since Friday, protesters have taken to the streets in parts of the city. On Sunday, local police declared unlawful assembly in downtown. Some self-driving cars were set on fire. Authorities used tear gas and flashbangs to control the crowd. The demonstrations came after recent immigration raids, one of which happened in a Home Depot parking lot. President Trump moving to deploy 2,000 National Guardsmen to L.A. 500 Marines are also on standby.
We're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart.
California Governor Gavin Newsom blaming Trump for the unrest after he deployed the guards against his wishes. In a post on X, alongside a letter to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Newsom said, quote, "I have formally requested the Trump administration rescind their unlawful deployment of troops in Los Angeles County and return them to my command. We didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. This is a serious breach of state sovereignty." Other lawmakers also believe the deployment was an overreach.
But what we're seeing in Los Angeles is chaos that is provoked by the administration. When you raid Home Depot and workplaces, when you tear parents and children apart, and when you run armored caravans through our streets, you cause fear and you cause panic.
This is really just an escalation of the president coming into California. We haven't asked for the help. We don't need the help.
Also joining the voice of dissenters to the presence of the National Guard, Representative Maxine Waters. She was denied entry right here to visit at a detention center where David Huerta is being held. Now, he's the union president for SEIU in California. Huerta was arrested for allegedly interfering as federal agents tried to access a work site. The door was slammed in her face right here. Waters saw armed guardsmen and was concerned about escalation.
I'm afraid that the guns will end up being used. I don't know why we have guns. What are those guns for? Are they to shoot protesters? I mean, there's no reason to be here with the National Guard.
So one question maybe, is deploying the National Guard something presidents can legally do? Well, one main method to do that is activating the 18th Century Insurrection Act amid a rebellion or unrest. But Trump did not do that and said he didn't think there was an insurrection on Sunday. Another way is Title 10, which puts the National Guard under federal control when they're typically under state command. At least 3 reasons can lead to its use: danger of an invasion or rebellion, and when the president can't execute the laws of the country using regular forces. Turning now to a travel ban from President Trump taking effect today. It includes 12 countries, some of which, like Libya and Sudan, are in Africa. Others are located in the Middle East, including Afghanistan, Iran, and Yemen. There are also restrictions for people traveling from 7 other countries. Trump taking this action in response to security concerns following last week's attack in Colorado by an Egyptian man who overstayed his visa. U.S. and Chinese officials are expected to hold trade talks in London today. Now, this follows a phone conversation between Chinese President Xi Jinping and President Trump on Thursday. The two countries are in a 90-day tariff de-escalation. U.S. duties on Chinese imports are down to 30% from a previous 145%. China's rate stands at 10% from 125%. Talks have taken a turn recently as Trump accused Chinese officials of violating their agreement as it pertains to rare earth minerals. The Treasury and Commerce secretaries will be among those involved in negotiations today.
I'm very comfortable that this deal is about to be closed, and it's going to be closed not with a bunch of staffers and bureaucratic language, but with handshakes. Quite as we want the rare earths, the magnets that are crucial for cell phones and everything else to flow just as they did before the beginning of April, and we don't want any technical details slowing that down.
And be sure to stay with ARC Rochester for your top political headlines. We're back after this.
for sticking with us this Monday morning, 9:32. The future of business education just got an upgrade, people.
Yeah, we've reported in recent days about AI and its potential to replace jobs. Seeing those reports, the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship wanted to talk about its programs combining AI with real-world business skills.
It's called the Advanced Certificate in AI and Business, and it's designed to equip students with the tools they need to compete in a fast-moving AI-driven economy.
We're joined now by Golisano Institute President Ian Mortimer and student Max Post. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is really interesting. A topic that a lot of people are excited about and also concerned about. So curious to know your thoughts right off the bat, and then I want to talk to you, Max, in just a second too.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, our thesis is that if we're going to educate students in business, they have to know something about artificial intelligence, how it runs, how it impacts different industries and categories. And so that's why we're launching this new certificate program, which is 1 year and focused on the intersection of business and AI.
My theory is, and maybe this is what the school is kind of basing, of course, my theory, basing this on, but is if you're not up to speed, you're going to get left in the dark when the takeover happens, right?
Yeah, takeover may be a little bit of harsh language,
fair.
but
He's thinking like the Terminator.
Yes.
But like 75% of jobs right now, if you look on Indeed and some of these jobs aggregating sites, are asking for AI skills and tools. I think the thing that we want to make sure happens is that we're defining what those tools and skills are, and just kind of let the buzzwords be the buzzwords, and let our students articulate for themselves how their knowledge is going to create economic value for their employers. And Max is a great example of that. One of the things that we have at the Institute is called Businesses in Residence. And so businesses literally exist on our second floor, and as they need individuals to come on and help them out with different projects or different sets of work, they go downstairs and find students to do it, and Max is a great example of that.
All right, and so Max, let's hear about it. As a student, tell us a little bit about how AI is being incorporated into your lesson plans and preparing you for the real world.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think there's a lot of fluff around AI. A lot of scary things like some people think about, Terminator and that sort of thing. But there's also a lot of things that we can do with these tools to increase our output as workers for people or as entrepreneurs in that sort of world as well. And the school really does a good job at, focusing on that side of AI and the technology and setting us up for success in that way.
What does a day-to-day inside the business school look like for you?
Every day is different, but primarily school starts at 8:45 and then goes till 1 o'clock, and then we're kind of set free, if you will. At which time I go upstairs and work for one of the businesses, and get to work.
Wow, that sounds like a very immersive experience.
Yeah.
It's, you've got the class time, but then also you get to go literally upstairs, hands-on experience, and you get to kind of get involved in the mix and see the day-to-day. It's got to give you an edge when it comes to getting a job.
Yeah, and I do think I kind of catch moments like that where, maybe in class we talked about, in marketing, the blue ocean and how a business achieves that, or how to do a debt and equity balance when you talk about capitalizing a new project or something like that. And I'll be in a conversation with some of the business owners, and I'm like, oh, I have a point to make here about how we structure this capitalization strategy for this project, and I'm like, this is something I would have never done before.
Being able to speak up, though, I imagine is something that is in high regard for any business owner. They want to hear from their employees, and especially when they have useful information.
It's a really good point, and as much as technology is advancing, when we hear from employers, they want individuals who have professional skills. And what that means, as Max said, speaking up when you have a point, showing up on time, dressing like you're ready for work. And so, the relationship in terms of our students' development is absolutely advanced technology, and it's all the business acumen that we talked about. On the same side, I would say that we're developing confidence and developing the ability to express an opinion, concise language. And that hand in hand is where the magic happens from our perspective.
It's really great insight for somebody sitting at home who is interested in learning more. Maybe they want to dip their toe into this program. Give us the information. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I want the information in a second. But Max, give us the elevator pitch.
I would say the Golisano Institute is for people who are looking to push themselves. It's not like a typical school where if you're, maybe you have a certain background knowledge on a topic, accounting or finance or something like that, you can just kind of breeze through. The student to teacher ratio makes it so that they'll push you. So it's for the person who wants to improve and work hard and kind of make things happen.
Very good.
Absolutely. Ian, where can people go to learn more?
GolisanoInstitute.org. We have a bunch of open houses coming up. And then also, if there's any employers out there that are looking to sponsor an employee that's interested in developing their AI skills, we have a hybrid program for that one-year program as well.
How much longer do you have left in school?
A couple more months up in February.
Where do we want to get hired? Somewhere local.
Right now I'm working with a company that I'm really passionate about, so I'll probably stick with them.
Okay, I was good because you're on television. You can just put the pitch out now.
Resume.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll post all this information and much more on our website, foxrochester.com, after the show this morning. Gentlemen, thank you both so
very much.
Thank you very much.
Much more to get to this morning. Stick around. We're back after this. Get ready to have some fun on the fairway because the 4th annual Cancer Support Classic Golf Fundraiser is returning this July to benefit the cancer support community at Gilda's Club.
Certainly is. And this morning we're taking a closer look at the fundraiser and all of the amazing programs and services Gilda's Club provides. For more, we're joined now by Associate Board Co-Chair Connor McKenna and Associate Board Member Hunter Johnson. Thank you both so much for coming in. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us today. We're happy to be here.
Absolutely. Do us all a favor before we dive into the tournament. For someone sitting at home who says, okay, I've heard of Gilda's Club, I've heard of the cancer support community, maybe I'm familiar with the name change, but they want to know about all of the great work that organization does right here in our community. Fill us in.
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer free programs for all of our members. And really what we focus on is sort of their mental and their physical health and supporting that. As we all know, cancer can take a toll, not just on the people who are battling it themselves, but their family members, their friends. And we really offer programs to anybody who has had cancer, who's in remission, who's going through their battle, their friends and their family, and really focus on supporting them, kind of their mental health and also their physical well-being.
That has to be a very large undertaking for the organization. So I'm sure events like this one really play such a big role in keeping all of the things that you do up and running. Tell us a little bit about all of the fundraisers that you have and how it helps Gilda's Club.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now we're coming off the heels of a very successful bachelor auction back in March. Rochester Cocktail Revival just wrapped up, and we get a portion of those proceeds as well. And really all the donations from the golfers to the sponsorships that we have at the tournament this year, it all goes directly to our members and to help support them, which is really awesome, and it's great to feel that community support.
Talk to us about the. I know you wanted to answer part of that question, so I saw you take the inhale and then let it go.
I was
so
like, go first.
let's hear your response.
Yeah, so a lot of the events, like you said, I mean, we do the bachelor auction. That's actually how I personally got involved with the board and everything. And all of these really fun events have just led to basically being able to give back to the community and everything. So. Yeah, the golf tournament is our upcoming one, and we're really excited to do that.
Very good.
Yeah.
So tell us about the golf tournament then.
Yeah, so it's the 4th annual one. It is at Greystone this year again, and it is on July 23rd. We are looking at accepting sponsorships right now. It's a big thing that we're looking for the holes. It's $250 for a hole sponsorship. It's a really great way to promote your business and everything. And also, that money goes toward the amazing organization of Cancer Support Community of Rochester. So.
And how many holes? Are we talking 18?
Yep, so 18 holes of golf that day. We actually just filled our last team over the weekend, so if anybody's looking to sign up, they can go to cscrochester.org/golf. We'll have a wait list ready in case any teams drop out. You can also sign up for sponsorships there. Smelling the bacon in the background for you people at home. It smells very good in the studio right now.
A little bit of cooking happening right now in the background.
But we're really looking forward to a great day out on the course.
If somebody is sitting at home and they haven't signed up, and they're kicking themselves for not doing it, but they're thinking to themselves, I'm not much of a golfer, I just want to drive a golf cart. Can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always accepting volunteers. The more the merrier for the day. It's a big undertaking to put on a golf tournament for 144 golfers. So if they do want to, if you're maybe not a golfer, but you want to come out and support the day, we're always accepting volunteers for the tournament.
Or talk to your boss and tell them to sponsor a hole.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very good. Hey, thank you both so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it. And if you are interested, we'll put all the information for you over on foxrochester.com.
9:46 this morning. Don't go anywhere. When Arc Rochester returns, we're getting a special look and taste at an upcoming event happening at the MAG.
Yeah, we're back after this.
Hey, this week, the Rochester Memorial Art Gallery is taking guests on a trip to Louisiana without having to leave town.
Yeah, the Taste of NOLA in NODA event is part of the Art Gallery's Homage Culinary Series, and this morning we're excited to be learning all about it while also getting a very special preview.
Absolutely. We're joined now by Chef Caleb Cruiser from Julia K. Caters and Emilio Fabico, the Chief Operating Officer at the MAG. Thank you both so much for coming in. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having us.
It smells great in here.
Yeah.
So let's address that elephant in the room, or the crawfish in the room.
Yes. Yes, so what we have here, this is our standard ingredients for a traditional Louisiana-style crawfish boil. Traditionally done with corn, potatoes, celery, onions, finished with some andouille sausage, which we have in this bowl over here, our crawfish, as well as some shrimp that we're going to have for you guys. Everything's happening on Thursday, keeping it very classic to Louisiana crawfish.
That's really cool. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the event and why you're doing this.
Sure. It's just one of our events that we have in the Homage Culinary Series, as you mentioned. So it's going to have all the energy, community fun of a traditional Louisiana crawfish boil. We have some fresh crawfish here, but some more are coming in. They already have their tickets booked, TSA pre-check. They're going to be real fresh for Chef Caleb to prepare a meal for us.
TSA pre-check for the crawfish.
I like it. But
there's also going to be some live Zydeco music performed by Lil Ann and Hot Cayenne. So if you felt like dancing off some of the crawfish that you consumed, that can happen as well. The one thing I do want to mention, the sale of the tickets closed today at 6. So you really want to get to our website. That's mag.rochester.edu to purchase your tickets. We also have some music-only tickets available, too. So we'd love for you to join us.
Terrific. Chef Caleb, I'm going to let you do your thing and finish up what you're doing, what you need to do here.
Well, thank you very much.
I want to ask you, while Caleb's doing, you go ahead.
Oh,
absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, how did you come up with this idea for this year?
Sure. I think for us, it's important that people get to know the MAG and what we have to offer. So we wanted to make sure that we attracted all kinds of, maybe a different segment that normally comes to the MAG. So we had a great response when we mentioned a crawfish boil. So that's why we thought it'd be fun to do. Fun event.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the time when people think of New Orleans, this is exactly what comes to mind. So that's kind of a nice little nod to it. I'm curious to know, when it comes to cooking this dish, are you pretty much locked in with the traditional elements that
Yeah, so
go
with
along
this,
with it?
traditionally a crawfish boil creates a sense of community. It originated in the 1700s between the French Canadians, the Native Americans, and the Creole Haitians. We wanted to kick off the summer with a sense of community just like that and try to keep it as traditional as possible.
When people show up and they take a bite out of this, and they say, "Okay, what's the secret?" Are you gonna give them some tips to making it more traditional in their home?
To make it more traditional in their home, I would say a couple of the key secrets are making sure that your timing on everything is right, making sure you start with your potatoes, roll into your celery and your corn, finish with your seafood, just to ensure that everything texturally is perfect. In addition to that, I'd strongly recommend fresh shellfish whenever possible.
All right. So will there be instructions on how to eat these guys?
We're going to give some live demos there, but we can do a couple now if you wanted to.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go for it.
All right.
So let's each grab a crawfish.
All right. And these guys are definitely dead, right?
Yep, they're definitely dead. And you want to sort of pinch the tail.
Okay.
And then give it a little twist. And you can see the meats there. So traditionally what you do is there's some delicious juice in the head.
Okay.
So you go ahead and suck out that juice.
Oh, great. Okay.
You can turn around.
Oh, that's all right.
Get that flavor. And then there's the meat of the crawfish, and just pull it out.
Right here?
Mhm.
This thing? Okay.
That's it.
That was very good.
That's it.
Really good.
That is good.
Uh-huh.
So that's the secret, and then it's a community thing. The chef's going to have them all delivered to the tables, and we're a big group eating them together.
He has eyes still. That's cool. So we don't do anything with this guy up here?
No, after you take the juice out, you're done. People could go for the little claws, but they're pretty tiny, so
yeah.
I think you're pretty done there.
No, fun. You can keep that. You can keep that.
I understand. Thank you. Why? It's honestly kind of fun.
It is fun.
It's like a little treasure hunt for whatever.
Chef, what kind of sausage is in here? What is this?
The sausage that we have here is an andouille sausage. It's a Louisiana staple. It's smoky, a little bit spicy, but overall just very rich and flavorful.
Abby, I say go to town,
All right.
my friend.
All right. I
Go
got to try the
town.
sausage. 'Cause
One more time for somebody sitting at home. They want to attend. What do they need to know?
Yes, please go to our website, mag.rochester.edu. Buy tickets. Again, the sale of the tickets ends tonight at 6, so please do it right away, and we'll see you there on Thursday.
Terrific.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you both
you.
so much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thanks for having me.
Really good.
Appreciate it.
Was
We'll
really
post all of this information and much more online at foxrochester.com. Don't go anywhere. Our final thoughts after the break.
.55, welcome back. Time for our final thoughts this morning on ARC Rochester.
Our final thoughts are we want to see Mark McLean eat some of this food. Dig in, my friend.
Oh, boy.
Steph
And
has
Steph,
already got
okay.
a crawfish
Right.
here.
I think
So,
I'm gonna.
yeah.
You
good.
just got some instructions.
Okay,
so
Yep,
Then
suck
you gotta-
the juice.
Yeah.
Juice that, yep. Perfect.
Shrimp's good.
Yep.
Shrimp's good?
Isn't that really good?
Yeah.
Put this over here.
I don't
Big
think
fan
they
of
were going to
that.
steer us astray here.
No, I don't
good.
think so.
I feel like they know what they're doing.
So when somebody goes out to a restaurant and they order crawfish, I imagine it would be a lot of them, right?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Like how many?
Typically, a pound of crawfish probably runs you about 18 to 20 pieces
Wow.
of crawfish.
Wow.
A lot of crawfish.
Wow.
And is that like would that fill you up? Because there's not a lot of, I mean, you're getting so little meat out of those little
I would say with how good they are, typically you could always have more crawfish.
Okay.
That's why we tend to supplement with the corn, the potatoes, the shrimp,
The
all of
filler.
that. The
Right.
filler, exactly.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
filler.
Just crawfish, I mean, it really depends on the day, depends on the person, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And Abby, I just want to follow up. You asked him during the break, asked Chef Caleb, it's Cajun seasoning that it's
Yes.
all cooked in,
Yep,
correct?
absolutely. It's
Very good.
Cajun Creole roots from the Louisiana boil.
Okay, so it's something, listen, maybe we could do this on our own at some day when we have one of our parking lot parties.
Ooh, there we go.
That's
All
a
right.
phenomenal
Have
idea.
our own boil. Well, you guys can do seafood. I'll do like a tofu boil.
Yeah, okay.
You know, with maybe some tempeh mixed in. I don't know. That does it for us here on ARC Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57. We work at that other place. What is it called?
13 Wham ABC. Join Steph and Mark there later today for 13 Wham News at midday.
Bye.